Hi, you're welcome to Success Tips. In this video today, we are going to be discussing about partnership. Okay, so I'm going to be breaking this down to a smaller level so that you will get to understand what partnership means and then what are the best strategies that you can be able to employ when it comes to partnership, and then what are the advantages that you will stand to gain when you engage in partnerships. Now, if you are a working class individual, or if you're a person that is very busy and then working on your day-to-day job and then thinking of what you can be able to venture into, or thinking of the kind of business that you can be able to venture into, and then you are still confused, and then maybe you just have money at the end of the month and then you are wondering what you want to be using this money for, or what business can I even go into, what are the best businesses that I can be able to invest this money, yet I don't have time because I have a very busy job and a very busy schedule at my job place and things like that. This video is right for you. Okay, first of all, let us start by defining what partnership means. Okay, so in this context, partnership simply means more than one person going into business. Okay, so if you and a colleague, or maybe you and another person decide to go into a business partnership, or you want to join your hands together and then go into a particular business, that is partnership right there. Now, someone may want to ask, okay, what could be the advantages of partnership? Or someone may even argue that partnership is a very, very bad business model. So why do I need to go into partnership? Now, you will understand with me that when you are a very busy employee, or maybe you have a very busy schedule, maybe in your workspace or things like that, it will be very difficult for you to be able to venture into any kind of business that will be, have the potential of growing to a larger extent. Okay, the only moment when you can be able to start up your own business and then you grow it to a high level is when you quit your job and then give it that full time. But then you may not have that flexibility and freedom to do that. You have some bills to pay, maybe you have a family to support, you have siblings to help, you have people that are depending on you, or maybe you have some certain level of livelihoods that you need to meet up to. Okay, by you quitting your job, it's going to mean that you may not be able to have any other source of income that you can be able to support yourself with. And at the same time, you may be thinking of starting up a business. Meanwhile, you don't have the time. So that is when partnership can set in very well for you. Okay, or in another scenario, you may be having some money with you. Maybe you have some money that you won, maybe as a grant or things like that, but then you have been thinking of the kind of business you want to venture into, but then you don't have experience in those businesses. Then going into partnership with people that have experience in that business will mean a lot to you, as long as you play your cards very well. Okay, so going into partnership will have a very significant advantage to you as an individual, even if you are not a busy employee. As long as you want to have some form of businesses that are complicated and then you don't really have an idea on how to go into that businesses, going into partnership with a person that have that clean understanding, or having a great understanding or idea of the kind of business you want to be going into, is a very great plus for you when you engage in partnership. A lot of people make a lot of money at the end of the month, from their paycheck, but then they are confused of what to use that money for. They end up using that money to just maybe buy a house, maybe buy land, and maybe buy a car, or maybe buy some luxuries that they can just buy and then be using things like that. Some may want to say, okay, now buying land is an investment. While that may sound true to some individuals, but then in real sense, buying land is nothing more than you just preserving that money so that it doesn't lose its value. If you make your paycheck at the end of the month, you will definitely want it to multiply, you will want it to grow, you will even want it to double or even triple, before the next 3 to 4 months. Okay, so that is one of the advantages that you can be able to get when you go into partnerships. Okay, now let us go now into the best strategies that you can be able to employ when it comes to partnership. Okay, I believe if you pay attention to these things, you can be able to take advantage of this knowledge and then begin to make your investment plans, begin to make your business plans, and then in the next 5 to 10 years time to come, you look back and say, wow, this was the best decision I've ever taken for myself. Now, what are the best steps that one can be able to take in order to venture into profitable partnership? Okay, now let us start with the first thing first. Okay, the first thing you need to understand is to ask yourself, what business do I need to go into? What investments do I need to, set up my capital into? Okay, what are the kind of business opportunities that will yield high yield for me? Okay, so by the time you're able to get that answer, that is when you move to the next step. Okay, you now ask yourself, okay, who are the people that have knowledge in this area? Who are the people that understand well in this business category? what are the kind of things that I need to look out for in order to be able to get the best business partner that we can go into. Because there are a lot of people out there that have the skills, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, but they don't have the money to start up that business. Okay, now what you will be looking out for is to look out for those people that have those experience but don't have that money, while you have that money but may not have that luxury of time or experience to be able to take advantage of that business model. Okay, so you will want to definitely go into business with such people, but then you need to look out to people that have, integrity, people that are trustworthy, people that you must have known them, or maybe have reputable, reputations, or people that are having track record of being good people. Okay, you may not be able to tell everything all at once, but then there are some certain level of indicators that if you set for yourself, you will be able to tell, oh, this person is a person that if I go into business with, there are minimal risk that I'm going to be incurring. Okay, so now after you identify that person, then the next thing you need to do is to try to put down all the memorandums. Okay, put down your agreements, write it down. Okay, you will need to get a lawyer that can stand in there for you guys and then draft out your agreements. Look for experts in those areas. You both will need to sit down and agree on terms. You try to define his jurisdiction, and then you try to define your own jurisdiction, and then you try to plan out how your benefits are going to be and then how your compensations are going to be. With that, you will all have the papers signed, and then you will of course get into the business. Okay, so now while the person doesn't have money to start up that business, while you don't have the experience to start up that business, your money and his experience can come in together and then start up that business. Let's say you want to start a construction business, for instance. You may get in touch with a person that have a high level of experience in construction, and then you of course come with your own money and then you set up that business. Or maybe you want to go into the fashion industry. Maybe you have money that you can be able to use in order to start up the business by buying the machineries, working on the advertisement aspects and things like that, while you have someone that have a very excellent skill and knowledge in the area of fashion industry, and then you can come together with that person and then set up that business. Meanwhile, you have your agreements, you have your business plans written down, and then every other thing will just be set up. And that is going to be a very great opportunity for you to multiply your money while you are doing your own job. Okay, because at the beginning of your career, at the beginning of your job, you may not have that flexibility to be able to quit your job and still maintain your livelihood. Okay, but with that, while you are doing your work, you can be able to have meetings, look at the kind of things that you can innovate, while the business is growing. You are also doing your normal work, and then you get your paycheck at the end of the month. You can see how you can be able to set up your partnership business while you maintain your normal job. Okay, and of course, at the end of the day, if that business grows to a certain level, you can be able to quit your own job, and then you also have the two of you work on that business full time, and then you expand the business, you move to greater branches, expand it, before you know it, you are global. So that is the best way you can be able to also think of partnership, and then that is the best way that you can be able to take advantage of if you don't have time or if you don't have knowledge in the business area. Okay, so I believe this video will help you to be able to start up profitable partnership, and I believe you are going to make use of this knowledge to your own advantage and also to grow your career in life. Before I take my leave on this video, if this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I will want you to click on the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that when the next content comes up, you will be notified. And if you're a returning viewer, I would love to say thank you. See you guys in another video. Bye.